Hey everybody, welcome to week 2 of the Dayo Sushi Community Tournament. I hope y'all are ready today because we're having a double feature, 2 games back to back. And I'm here with my co-commentator for the first set of games. Friendo, are you here with me?
Here I am, folks. Of course I am here with you, Mara. Come on. You know me. I'm here on time at the date set. We're all set to go here on this lovely, fantastic Dale Sushi tournament here with a couple of matches going on between That's What Sea Shed, that's a tongue twister, and Lucky Septopus.
Yes sir, yes sir.
Here, folks.
Go ahead, I'm sorry, I cut you off there.
I was just taking a moment to stretch. I have to get used to the fact that we are working with a delay right now, so it means you have to wait slightly longer to check if everybody's stop talking or anything like that.
Yeah, and we all know I'm notoriously bad at that. All right.
That's for sure.
So just a note for this week, due to scheduling reasons, Game 1 will be moved to Game 5. So Tower Control Museum will be played last instead of first. So we'll be starting this set off with Manta Maria Rainmaker, Scorch Gorge Clams, Inkblot Art Academy Zones, Mako Mart Tower, and then we'll have another tower right after with Museum Delfonzino.
2 tower matches going back to back. That's going to be quite interesting to see for sure. On 2 very different maps, I'd say.
Yes, sir. But you know what? At least the name of the game is the same. So the concept is the same. It's just they'll have to do different strategies as opposed to how they're getting in to stop pushes and get theirs going. So.
Yeah, I get what you mean there. When I take a look at Mako Mart, it seems to be much more of a closer range, space. But on the other hand, when you play on Museum, it feels a little bit more open in the middle. But as it gets closer and closer to goal, you start having more close quarters battles as time passes on. While I feel anyway, Mako just kind of remains consistent all the way throughout.
That's correct. All right, let me see real quick because I need to make sure I get these teams squared away properly. Because I am, in fact, the host this time.
Mm-hmm. I have the list of teams up as well, so I'm double checking for you on this.
All right, I believe I got it right. So Renzo, Space Milk, Silver, and Mr. Dink. Yep, I think that's correct. And then Honey, Eel, Wipeout, and Chai. Yep, that's correct.
Alright, folks, we're about to just get straight into this.
Alrighty, let's hop right on in. Just gonna casually, slip into uniform real quick. Don't look at me. I may or may not be out of uniform here. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We don't talk about Bruno.
I get what you mean there. So how was that drive back? Getting all set for this? I hope you didn't scramble too hard being all prepared and stuff.
Oh, thankfully I had everything prepared last night beforehand. All I had to do was pull up the lobby and make sure I had the team separated correctly. That was literally the main thing I had to do. All right, they are waiting on me.
Yeah, I'm glad everything is working out right there. We're just gonna hop straight into this match for sure.
Yes, sir.
Let's take a look. I gotta say I really like the coordinated profile picks coming out from Honey Lemon Chai Tea. I think I've played with these guys before too in a previous tournament.
Oh, have you?
I think I have, yeah. I'm pretty sure I played with Chai Tea and Honey Lemon in a previous DOS tournament for sure. As we roll straight onto here in Rainmaker, with relatively mobile weapons being picked by Chai Tea and Honey Lemon, and the bow coming out.
There we go, okay.
But they are gonna go down to play. Initial player, Silver takes control of their bats.
Immediately tries to get going off, but a rush cancels it out.
Trades going back and forth for here. Brush able to find a couple openings. Chai Tea trying to find their way in, but not going to be able to get anything bigger off it. Strikes come out. Honey Lemon trying to find a jump back onto the part right here. Triple coming out with the Zuka. That's going to be a fast push.
And that's a lead right there. Can they get the checkpoint here, though? Yes, they can. They break through.
Yep. Renzo attempting to make a stall for as long as possible for this. Pick coming out for Septopus as the bow gets pushed on the bunker.
Ambushed on the bunker.
That's for sure right there. Chai Tea and Eel gonna have to hold for the space right now. Strikes are coming out. Chai Tea finished off right there by Silver.
That's what C
And
said is really
Rainmaker
keeping
goes
this.
down again.
That's what C said is really keeping this push going. But let's see if Lucky Septopus can push them back out and get their own push started. They're juiced up though. Space Mech is juiced up. Oh, they killed the brush. Wipeout goes down. Rainmaker is starting to push back to mid. So let's see if they can get some points on the board. And it's looking like they're about to get started right. Oh, not quite, not quite. As they get pushed back from Sneaky. Can rotate toward their street, but the Rainmaker does go down. So let's see. They're about to pop it with the Zuka. With the backup fire. They're going to get this pop. They do get the pop. Let's see if they can break checkpoint.
Nice pick coming out for That's What C said. Going to be, excuse me, for Septopus. Going to be able to return some points there on the board. Chai T attempting to make a flank on the right side. Wipeout is traded out on the far end in mid.
Ooh, they get a bomb kill on Dink. Okay, nice. They do get the checkpoint though. I do realize
that players going down.
I just forgot to put on color lock. I do realize that. Whoopsie.
It's alright. Only playing for this match, I'll still be able to handle it quite fine. Let me see, I'll take a look. I'm like hearing the audio on both streams, but it must be happening at the same time. I should actually check yours on this end, because it's a little difficult to watch two screens at once. It's probably better on here anyway. Alright, Chai T and Wipeout trying to make a push off of here, as Eel is making a long run with the board.
Oh, they're getting the... Oh, can they get the knockout here? Nope, they can't. They got accosted by 3.
They can't. Ooh. Yeah, that's what C said. Push getting stopped right there. Silver going to be trying to make their way back up to mid, secure some space, as they do have a Zuka ready to go. Players are starting to come out. Silver, I wonder if he has a supports.
Oh wow! Oh, knockout! Sneaky knockout!
Not paying attention there.
Yep, sneaky knockout.
Yeah, unfortunately, not enough attention being paid on the Rainmaker, and one player from That's What C said will be able to secure the goal at the very end right there. And the very early KO coming out for That's What C said. Nicely done there.
Good job, C said. That's what C said. They want that first game win, and they got it.
Right, man, that is going to be so hard for me to say. I'm just like picking up the tongue twister off the board. That's like so difficult. I'm gonna
TWSS, TWSS.
Oh, yeah, I'll work with trying to say the legislative. Probably better that way after all.
All right, there's going to be a bit of a switch out here. Both teams, I believe, are switching out each game, I believe. So we're going to let them switch out and get who they need to come back in before we get started with the next match. But I will go ahead and get it set up. Let me adjust this score really quickly. Get this back to snuff right here. And then real quick, we're going to switch back to the map screen real quick. So we will be doing Scorch Gorge Clams next. Just for you guys to be able to see where we're going at.
Now, the neat thing about Scorch Gorge mid is that it definitely has there's a very crucial point in mid, which acts as not only a high ground, but is going to be a common place where you can expect to see a lot of conflict, since most of the short-range weapons are going to be fighting to secure that space for their longer-range mid lines or back lines.
See, the thing about Scorch for me is that sometimes, because when you want to take neutral in the beginning, you want to take neutral first. You want to get at least 1, maybe 2 picks before you start your push. The thing is, though, I know I find it hard to defend ramp a little bit if the left side does press hard enough. It all depends on who camps out near that snipe on their perch, or excuse me, on their plat, like above, because they have the high ground if you go that left route. So you just have to be careful on how you approach that, I suppose you could say. So if you have bombs, you can easily press them back. Or hold them back so that way, you know, your team on the opposite side can try to get a pick.
Yeah, I get what you mean there for sure. I feel that of the different ways you can try playing aggressively on this stage, you can either try pushing all the way left or pushing all the way right, and then of course still fighting for the high ground up in mid. I feel that some of the more successful teams, I remember playing against one of the higher division teams back in, I believe, either Ludi or Low Ink. And one of the strong ways that they tried to make a push is that they would have the anchor, rather setting up at long range, literally set up in mid, but that was on Rainmaker though. Like, set up mid on the right side and then taking pot shots at the right. And that can be pretty strong, provided that the enemy team doesn't know how to respond to this. The counter strategy is also just sending your team to the right side to try to flank the anchors from over on the right and stuff like that. But it definitely is something that can work.
True.
Provided it's on the right
a dangerous
map and mode.
Yeah, I mean, and the dangerous place to fight though would be in that on the pits on the left and the right, respectively. Depends on what weapon you have to whether you have the advantage or not. But it's always a dangerous place to be. But sometimes you just got to skirmish in there.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. Hit is definitely a place that many players do not want to spend a lot of time on. In fact, it's definitely one of the least important points of the map. It's more of the place that if you're gonna fight there, you better fight quick and you better either get out or push forward after that, because otherwise you're just gonna be wasting time there, and eventually some bombs are gonna be thrown your way.
Correct, correct. All right, it's looking like the teams are still set. I don't have to change anything here. Alrighty, and off we go.
We're all set here to go. I can recall playing with Chai T and oh, I forgot the name of the other player. Where is it? Chai T, I believe, and Honey Lemon. Yeah, I remember playing with Honey Lemon and Chai T during one of our previous tournament outings with DOS. I was rolling with them as a heavy edit and I think I was alternating between that and another aggressive weapon. And they loved running their brushes on Clam Blitz tournaments because they really like to go for the behind the back plays and stuff like that. But we'll have to see if Lucky Septopus is prepared for their style of play with making a lot of brush runs from behind the team.
Right, and I mean they've seen it last week when they played last week on the clam splits on Inkblot. So it's all in how they approach it because it's hard, but it's possible. You just have to keep those brushes kind of contained and make sure you're constantly watching the flanks. Like, you have to call them out. They have to go down. Because if you try to make a push and the brush is sneaking, then, they just sneak in and they counter push you before you can actually even get yours started.
That's for sure. And one of the other good counter strategies for this is to claim a monopoly on clams, so that even if the brushes get a push behind, they're not going to have any clams to make anything happen. But it'll depend on how Lucky Septopus responds to this kind of pressure.
All right, let's see how we go. All right, both teams are making their way slowly to mid. All right, we're about to see a skirmish.
Ooh. About the same amount of space being taken from both teams right here as a brush makes their way to top mid.
It's a dangerous place to let them be because if they have the high ground, it's kind of bad for Lucky Septopus because then they could just slosh ink all over the place and easily get a pick there.
Well, looks like Septopus is already ready for it, though. They get
and a wipeout for Lucky Septopus. Let's go. Can they get this push going?
Could be strong push coming out right here. As two players going down from That's What C Shed right there. Chai T getting pushed out and killed right there. Trade back, but Wipeout will also go down. Renzo, Anna, and Space Milk in control of the basket, and Melville's going to be forced to play it safe and try to build some special for his team.
And Space Milk is passing clams toward there, but unfortunately they aren't able to get back with the clams, so the push is dead here. So let's see if That's What C Shed can get back in and mount a counter push. Let's see how they respond.
They've only got 3 clams up on the board right here. And looks like Chai T is going to attempt to flank, but caught out by the edit, going to be forced to peel back. It probably didn't even need to jump out right there, but will still survive the situation. And they do have a couple ready to go right here, as 3 specials are ready for That's What C Said. Attempting to move the player out from bottom right, but not sure what that did in terms of didn't really secure too much space.
They're going in with a special and get 2 picks off of it. They're 3 down. Like Septopus is 3 down. Let's see if they can get the clams here to start that push. Unfortunately, they don't have it yet, and they're already respawning. So the push is kind of stalled out here. They can't quite get it. But they did break the barrier, though, so they're on the board. They're just not able to sustain it, unfortunately, as Lucky Septopus is already pushed back into mid and keeping control.
And I feel like they could have gotten a lot more momentum off of that push, but unfortunately the picks came out faster for Septopus, and they were able to find their way back. Ooh. And unfortunately, they're getting skirmished out in mid here as well, as they're not going to be able to get any further momentum on it.
Let's see. Renzo's pushed up, gets a trade out on their ramp. So it's 3v3 now. 1 special for Lucky Septopus, and they have a ball ready, so let's see if they can get this push going. Pushing back with tri-strikes.
Coming out. Yep, trades coming back with the tri-strike so far.
Counter-strike. Both teams are ready to start a push, but let's see who can get in. It's a matter of who can get in first and who can defend.
Yeah, I see it right there. Both teams throwing out as many specials as possible. Chai T attempting to make a beeline for the basket. Not sure if there's going to be a bigger follow-up for her team, though, as the as Septopus is going to be able to skirmish this out. Wipeout attempted to come out with a flank, traded out immediately by Renzo, and this push isn't going to get very many points off of here as Renzo and his teammate make their way over to see Sed's basket.
Yeah, unfortunately, there it probably would have been better in their interest if they could have built up a little bit more of the clan economy, because now they've just given Lucky Septopus a free pity, but I don't know if they'll be able to capitalize on it. But let's see what they do with it. One of their balls is about to die, though.
Yeah, it looks like USC Anna is actually going to be able to escape that situation right there. Unfortunately, their own push not going to be getting very much off of the board anyway. Attempted flank coming out from Wipeout, not going to work, as Renzo and their team is ready for it. Septopus has a pick on the board, but is still going to need to clear these brushes off of top mid, as they will lose another two of their own players in that one. Going to be able to trade it out. Stamps coming out to attempt to get a push off the board.
Ooh. They are calling for their teammates to come forward. They do get the push started. There's a jump there right in front of them. Let's see if they can pick it off. They do, in fact, pick it off. Wipeout is still holding on in the front. They get another ball in. Thank goodness. Let's see if they can keep this push going. They might be able to. They've got 2 clams coming in, and they score them.
They're able to secure a lead.
Yep, Lucky Septopus is trying to push them out. Unfortunately, they aren't able to just yet. They are still throwing clams in. The bleeding is not stopping. Oh, there's the Wipeout. They stopped the bleeding. The bleeding has stopped.
Wipeout. Definitely managed to stop that right there. Renzo going to be able to clean up a final player up in mid. 40 seconds left on the board. It's definitely possible for them to get a much bigger push off of it, but it's definitely not the... Although they managed to get a lot of points off of the board, they did manage to get a lot of players killed off of that push, as Wipeout is managing to take control of mid right now. 2 players being pushed up into the pits right now. Silver going to be trading that back. Melville will be finishing off the player left
mosh pit.
and the bottom left.
That was an interesting mosh pit fight there.
Yeah, constantly going back and forth there. Looks like Septopus is going to have to build a power climb ASAP. And
ooh, not quite able to. Somebody goes down with clams, unfortunately, so they're not able to build that clam, and the game ends there.
He said going to be able to secure a second game on that one right there. They were able to find a couple of holes in Septopus's defense and then pull off their trademark brush rushes onto the final basket right there. Nicely done from Honey 11, Chai Tea, and Wipeout, and Melville right there.
The good thing is, though, that Lucky Septopus, they were kind of able to stall them out a bit there, but it just wasn't enough, and they weren't quite able to mount a push against. Because when they did get their push, they did get a little decent one started, but they weren't able to keep it going, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I have to agree with that there. I think that Septopus's pushes were not the greatest in terms of what they wanted to achieve, because some of their own players were going down in the trades, and it really killed the momentum that they could have had and secured with what they were doing right there. What I know about Chai Tea and Honey Lemon and their team's like entire playstyle is that they love to go for brush rushes on clan bits, which can be very strong against teams that aren't set up in the right positions, and it causes them to constantly fold and under the pressure. But against teams that are much more coordinated, it can get very difficult because of the lockouts that could potentially occur. At which points, like if there's no way to go around, then they have to brute force it. And brushes are not the greatest at brute forcing situations.
Right, and the only thing is, too, here, they also have to make sure to paint top mid. Top mid does count as part of the turf for capturing that zone.
I gotta agree with that there.
All right, let's see here. I believe the teams are ready to roll. Let me just double check and confirm. So I don't want to jump the gun.
Yeah, I can agree with that there. I think Inkblot Splat Zones, I'd say it's pretty neutral for this kind of stage. I have the sense that Chai Tea and Wipeout will still be going for the brush flanks, but in terms of how effective they are, I expect them to be pushing from the left pits at the start and seeing if they can catch players off guard going up onto the enemy's plats. In terms of how effective that could be, though, it could be a little difficult because that choke point on that left side is relatively easy to watch, and only if a player goes down is it really possible to really make a run up that slick.
Right, that is true. All right, let's double check in. Sorry here, I'm just making sure I got everything set to go. All right, I believe Melvo, Mr. Dink, Chai, Wipeout, Anna, Silver, Oh wait, nope, Honey Lemon's on the wrong team. My bad. Let me fix that. La, 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 la.
Nice catch.
All right, whom's to it? I believe it was Mr. Dink. No, it wasn't. No, it was. Brain ting. Okay, so we got Renzo, we got Silver, we got Anna. Mr. Dink is on Lucky Septopus. Okay, and then Melvo, Chai Tea, Wipeout, and Honey. Yep, okay, I got it. All right, there we go. All right, Brain was brain ting. Sorry, y'all. All right, we're good. Yeah,
all good. We're all good here.
There we go. I'm gonna beat y'all. Next time, you better have your in-game names when y'all sign up for the roster. In-game names and Discord names. No exceptions. I'm kidding. I'm joking. But I am gonna.
I'm double checking.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm like literally double checking like the rosters right now. I even made sure to like write them down and everything just to make sure we're all set. And I'm just like making sure like every all the names are like matched up to the right people and stuff like that. You know.
Right.
A little bit of preparation definitely goes a long way, but definitely can't blame players for wanting to pick some interesting aliases, that's for sure.
All right, TOs that are watching this stream, I'm petitioning in our next TO meeting. We're adding to the rules. You got to put your in-game name as well as your Discord name. We got to add that to the roster. Have to.
Yeah, definitely making it more convenient for sure. I'll say.
Make it convenient for streamers because that's a lot we gotta control at one time. I'm kidding. I'm just slow brain, so I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, I think we'll be able to be chill with it for sure.
I'm just rolling around at the speed of sound here. You're
doing the song meme like right now.
Listen, in my head I'm listening to it right now.
You know, I never played that Sonic game for the record. I only had Sonic Heroes, and that was not very well known as a good game.
So what you're saying is
I loved it anyway.
So what you're saying is I need to pester you in DMs after the matches because we're gonna talk about that. Because right now we gotta talk about this game that's about to go underway.
For sure. Let's see how both Septopus and C-Said managed to handle the situation.
All right, let's see. Renzo setting up on Slick, making sure it's inked up and ready to watch for flanks from the Lucky Septopus. And it's looking like Lucky
Septopus going to get picked out right there.
Alrighty.
Chai Tea by their lonesome over on the right side of zone. That heavy's going to keep them locked out pretty well. The constant stream of bullets flying their way is not going to be able to handle that situation. As Chai Tea will indeed go down on the left side of zone. Drinks coming out. Bo attempting to watch the right side, but the heavy doesn't really need to engage right there. Strikes coming out, attempt to retake. Wipeout will be able to secure the pick on Mr. Dink. Chai Tea attempting to make a push on the far right side, but not able to find Anna. Will catch out Wipeout, attempting to make the flank. 2 players going down for That's What C Said.
The only thing is they have to make sure that heavy from Lucky Septopus does not get set up in mid, or the bow on That's What C Said can get set up in mid. Because if either of them get set up in mid, then it's going to be hard for the opposite team to get pushed, to push back in. Because that's like their vantage point.
But yeah, I gotta agree with that. I would have to think though that Septopus's heavy is going to be the biggest problem that the brushes are going to contend with, because that constant stream of bullet means that they don't really need to. That they're going to have to spend a lot of time forcing the heavy to move away.
That's true, but they need to focus the zone though.
So much longer.
Yep, they have to focus the zone now because Lucky Septopus is about to get that win. They're at 6. If they don't get that zone, then That's What C Said is going to lose this game. Let's see. Oh, strikes are coming out. Let's see if they can cap it here. They might be able to cap it, but that top does not painted. Counter strikes are coming out, and it's looking like it might get capped by Lucky Septopus again. Oh, and they got it. And can they stop it? They cannot stop it, and that's game. Lucky Septopus takes game 3.
Yeah, as I was stating about that though, that heavy is so difficult for the brushes to contend with, because all the heavy needs to do is just look in their general direction,
and then they say perish.
And they die. That constant stream of bullets is great for catching high mobility targets who are going to be forced to dodge in more erratic ways, or be forced into cover so that way they can't make the flanks that they normally would be able to get away with. Septopus having an answer finally to those kinds of situations, and will be able to take the 3rd game.
All right, they said they may be down, but they are not out by any means, and they are not going quietly into this silent night.
Gotta agree on that one right there. I think I think they definitely had some decent answers during the first two games, but weren't able to get a game plan going until this very point. I think zones fit the kinds of style of play that they want to go for here, like much better.
That's correct. That's correct. Let's see. Mako Mart Tower. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. I was just making sure that the map was set up.
Yeah, no problem there.
All right, let's see here. So we've got Mako Tower Control on the next one. Ooh, I like Mako Tower, but I also hate Mako Tower. This is gonna be interesting to see.
I think for sure I've encountered a lot of players who tend to have a very love-hate relationship with Tower Mako for some particular reason. I'm not sure what exactly it is though. Like I'm trying to think back about the design of this map, and I can't think of anything like in particular off the top of my head that drives people particularly insane about it.
Yeah, that's true. I do know though, the first checkpoint is it's kind of a well, the second checkpoint is more difficult, but the first checkpoint is kind of in an awkward spot because especially if the enemy team has bombs, they can eat quite easily. If they know how to arc those bombs, they can easily bomb them out and keep them stalled out on that tower to get that push. But the second one is harder because you're in enemy territory. They already have the advantage, and that bunker that's like right behind that stack of toilet paper area, it's like an easy place for them to just drop down on you and just take you out if you're not careful. So there's got to be a little bit of dancing there.
I gotta agree on that. Second checkpoint has tended to be the harder point to push for the offensive team because defense tends has a harder time trying to control the right side, even though there's a checkpoint over there. I feel like it's because of the this like slanted ramp over on right by the first checkpoint for the defense. It makes it so easy to chuck bombs and just send them flying down the defenders, or put weapons, with like arc with high arcs that can go over that wall, and then just put direct fire onto the defenders, even though it's high ground.
That is true. Okay, the teams are correct. Melvo, Chai, Eel, and Honey. Yep, that's correct. Alrighty, here we go.
Adding on to that fact, though, I think at the same time, it's very easy for offensive players to literally jump up onto bats using the tower as a platform just to get up there. And it can be very difficult for defenders to contend with killing people on the tower, but also people literally jumping onto the bats, like the orcs in Helm's Deep, good old Lord of the Rings,
Listen, just give it. It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
I don't think it really works that way. Like you gotta think about the fact that this that it's not the same thing because the tower's going to be level with the bats, so it's not really quite the high ground. Technically, the people with an actual high ground on first checkpoint are going to be the snipers and backlines that are going to be at the top right side.
No. If you know what you're doing, you always have the high ground, even on level ground. Wink, wink, wonk, wonk.
I hope I know what you mean right there, because we're just gonna have to see going into this next stage.
All right, here we go. Ooh, Eel on the tri-slosher. Okay, all right. I want to see how those toxic mists come out. Better gas him up.
I have the sense that Eel switched over to the bucket because double brushes on tower is much more difficult because it's so fight focused, and even though brushes can be decent at taking close range fights, they are very static and they aren't going to be the most mobile for like fighting directly on the tower, which is why you might see a much more dualies or brushes contending, dualies and or blasters fighting for control of the tower and tend to secure space right here.
Yeah, that is true. Let's see here. Oh, Chai goes down immediately. Okay, jump scare, brush jump scare, but goes down. Let's see, left stack being contested here. Lucky Septopus is trying to mount a push here, but they can't quite get it. They have to get some more picks here. But it's looking like that's what he said is juiced up. So let's see how they get this push. There's somebody in their left alley. Oh, and can they get the pick? They do. They get Eel down. Brush fight. The brush takes them out. Chai Tea takes them down. Ooh, the lasers crossfire here. But Anna takes them down. Go ahead.
I think actually looking back at it right here, I think the colors might be mixed up. Lucky Septopus is
orange.
The one,
they're orange.
Team that's orange, yeah, and that's what Z said is blue in this situation.
That's correct.
Pick coming out for for that for C-Shed right there. Able to kill 2. Heavy and the N-Zap still alive. Have their specials ready to go in case they get a faster push off of it. They're pushing onto the right stack.
I will say that eel on left stack, that was a nice little squid roll they did off of the divot in the middle of their left stack to survive because they were under heavy fire. But they're skirmishing over there on the side. They are surviving and they get pincered. Mr. Dink
coming up.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I was saying, like, that's what he said, doing a great job pincering in that situation, able to stop Mr. Dink from securing that pick and that over on that side. Chai T currently caught out, but going to be able to survive the situation. Nice job securing those picks to secure the additional space. Going to be able to stop Chai T from getting isolated over off in mid.
Yep, the only problem is they need Chai Chi to switch out, though. They need somebody else on the tower because Chai T's got to be in that front, keeping them at bay. They do go down, though. Let's see, Space Milk over here trying to bomb them out. Being careful here, trying to make sure nobody's hiding in the ink. Smart idea, but they do got to get that push going and start out pushing out. They have special ready. They're about to get a pick here on top. Let's see if they can get it. Oh, they get an assist on it. Inkjet is keeping them at bay. They're going to booyah here to try to secure this through this choke point. No, not quite, actually. Are they gonna? Okay. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, I was just saying, the dude got drinks ready up on the board. But did the drink stand get run over by the tower? I don't think anybody claimed those drinks, because it just got run over by the tower right there. And now it's looks like Lucky Septopus isn't going to be able to get drinks up for this next push right here. As that wave isn't going to be able to achieve very much. Honey Lemon attempting to force their way in, but that heavy is keeping a great vigil up on the right stack right there.
When they do get a pick on the right side from the heavy, but it looks like it was a trade out, actually. Ooh, the bomb. Okay, nice dodge on the bomb, Honey Lemon.
Yes, nice job right there.
Being pressured hard here by bombs and booyah bombs. All the bombs. They go down. Down to Mr. Dink, who is out here skirmishing in the suicide area. And they do get picked off, unfortunately.
Space Milk, Renzo, all doing a great push right here. There's only one single player on the tower right here. Gonna be forced to turn around as Chai T makes the flank from behind. Needs to be a little better at making sure they maintain that side right there. They're getting some pretty good flanks off that they shouldn't be able to get away with. I did see that there was a player from behind earlier that they did not take the time to fully finish off before getting anything off right here. But unfortunately, Milko and Chai T will go down, so there is potential for this push to stay alive.
That's true. Lucky Septopus is managing to keep them at bay. They are holding on to that. It's not much of a lead, but they do have it right now. And Anna gets a pick in mid on Eel. Popping out the wave breaker.
There's a flank coming out from behind, but they are attentive to it, and that heavy is not going to be able to survive that situation. Gonna get picked off by strikes.
Oh my gosh. There's so much ink. My brain is struggling to keep up with all the ink that's flying.
Unfortunate situation right there. 2 players being seconded off right there. Lucky Septopus gonna be able to get a pick. There's 16 seconds left on the tower. They do manage to get a pick on 2, and they're gonna have to make their way out to mid as soon as possible, as there's only 11 seconds to go left on tower. Gonna need to make a beeline, catch those jumps as soon as possible. Gonna be able to finish off that inkjet. Not gonna be able to find it. Booyah coming out, and unfortunately, that's what she said, making the final push to be able to secure that tower and make sure they're all able to hang on to it for dear life.
I'm glad you were able to keep up with all of that, because that was a little much for my brain to keep up with. So I'm like, go, 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 go.
Yeah, I get what you mean there.
All right, and that's what C said, taking that 3rd point for game 4. Let's make sure I adjust these scores accurately. Here we go.
Yeah.
Switch on over and adjust that score right here too. Bam!
Nice.
All right.
Maybe we should turn in the color lock so that way it's a little easier to keep track of all the teams.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't change it in the lobby, but I will be sure for that. Our second game coming up, I have that color lock on. So I apologize, audience. That was on me. I will do better. I will be better. Yeah, it was a little bit of a rush for me to go live. I did have an emergency thing crop up that I had to take care of right before stream, but I was able to get it up as early as I could, thankfully. So
yeah, I get what you mean there. No worries there. I mean, I have to, I'm going to be going right into class immediately after this. We're all constantly moving at an incredibly fast pace with all these matches going on and stuff like that. There's so much to do and take care of while all this is happening and such. So we just You just got to be ready for all this stuff happening. We move quickly here with our tournaments, folks. That's
We
what I'll
do.
say.
We really do. All right. They did say moving forward, there's no change here, so let's just double check, make sure I got the team straight squared away, which I should if there's no change. Yep, Melvo, Chai, Eel, and Honey. Yep, it's perfect. Oh, Silver's here. Hello. All right, so who is the other? Sorry, I was supposed to leave. Oh, Renzo was supposed to leave. Ah!
Oh, shoot. Okay.
It's all right. I'll fix it. You'll spectate with me. You'll be our eyes in the sky, Renzo.
We'll need to get them out of here. Okay.
All right, let's see. Melvo, Chai, Eel, and Honey. Then we've got Mr. Dink, Anna, Space Milk, and Silver, correct? I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Okay. Oh, wait. We'll still need to kick Renzo out after on this one, right? After all, because we still got to make sure no teams are just watching the Iron Sky.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Actually, hold on. I can go back.
Yeah, we'll go back.
All right. Uh-oh. Is it lagging? There we go. Okay. There you go, Renzo. Get out of here. Go on, get.
Yeah.
Get.
Come on, go. Get out of here.
There you go. All right. Perfect. Can you tell I haven't hosted many PBs? All right. Double check.
It's difficult. I can tell you that about the many different times during multiple tournaments when I play with multiple teams, having to run back to lobby and then press and hold the stop match lobby command. Everybody was like, wait, this isn't right, and then we have to press. Everybody has to press the sticks and the buttons all at the same time just to cancel the match.
It's called the crab crawl. That's what I call it anyway. It made it easier for me to remember it. Just both triggers, both thumbsticks. You're holding the controller like a crab claw.
That is a funny way of putting it, that's for sure.
There you go. All right, and here we go. Last game. We're at Museum del Fonzino, and it's tower control once again. Let's see how these teams play for this final game.
No change coming out from either teams in terms of the comps going on from last game. I gotta say, I think both teams seem pretty confident in what they were working with, and I say they were probably pretty evenly matched in terms of what they were wanting to achieve. I feel that Lucky Septopus was better at securing the space that they could, but Dr. C said able to capitalize on the mistakes better than Dr. C said could really accomplish. And look at that, 2 players already going down. They have an opportunity to get a much bigger push off of it.
I'm surprised they actually haven't started pushing just yet. Oh my goodness, Lucky Septopus, they were... Oh wait, excuse me. Rewind that. That's what C said, was actually still pushing the tower despite being 2 down. Wasn't much, but hey, it was something. I was a little cheeky on their end, not gonna lie.
I gotta feel that... I would say that the Anna could be doing a little bit better job putting more support fire right there. Would have been able to save their teammates' lives over on that side. I think that they could have more confidently stood in the tower and just put the fire that they could, getting a little bit more points as they're trying to stubbornly hold on to top mid right here. Right. Getting pushed by the brush on this side. Anna making a beeline back to their team's plat to survive the situation. Strikes coming out over on that side. Not sure if it's going to accomplish much. That was a lot of strikes just to put on the right side, I gotta say.
I think they were specifically targeting the Splatling Anna, because I think if they allow Anna to set up, then if they set up properly and do provide that support fire for their teammates, it's going to be hard for them to push back in, because they do outrange. Well, they're about the same range as the Stringer, if not. Mr. Dink does get a nice splat on Chai T, though, there with that bomb. That was lovely. They have strikes ready. Let's see if they can mount that push.
Yep, Septopus going to be able to make a decent push off of here. Awkward situation, being caught off behind the spinner right so far. Chai T attempting to make a flank on the tower, immediately caught out by the rest of Septopus right here, as they're doing a much better job of holding on to mid. Bo getting caught off. Support coming out from Honey Lemon to secure that top mid. And Melvo making the flanks right here, catching a player attempting to make the push, but not going to be able to secure the pick onto the player throwing out strikes. Chai T attempting to make a flank right here, but this isn't going to be the greatest of flanks. Going to be taking a lot of damage. Chai T in a bit of a rough situation right here, as it could have probably had a little bit stronger push, getting more points up on the board. I don't think they needed the entire team to peel back in order to secure more time on the tower right here.
That is true here, but the tower just keeps rotating back to mid, though. So it's kind of a struggle to get a push going, because only Lucky Septopus has gotten it done so far.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. I feel that Septopus is getting a little too paranoid, watching for the brushes tempted to come from behind. They don't particularly need to watch for it. All they need to do is just lock Chai Tea out and then turn their attention back to them only if they really truly need to.
Right. And their Octo Shot was actually doing a really good job because they did earlier push into their base, but they did get pushed out. Unfortunately, their team wasn't able to quite capitalize on it. So now that's what C said is actually managing to get that push going now. The brush is getting in their base. They do go down though after popping the lasers. Let's see if they can pop the checkpoint here. And they do pop the checkpoint here. Honey Lemon is holding that tower down. Silver is coming in from the drop down from the spinner. There's a jump in though. Can they get that kill? Unfortunately, oh yes they do. They do. They got a double here, but they need to keep pushing the tower.
Nice.
Push it back. Like, just touch it to get it going backwards, but they do go down in mid.
One player low. Melvo going to be able to skip that situation. Not going to be the strongest of leads so far, but going to be able to chuck out strikes. That's what he said. Much hungrier to secure an advantage on these. That being said, they are getting punished pretty hard in certain situations.
Woo!
But I feel that they might be getting... Yeah, I gotta say that they're much better at punishing Lucky Septopus in terms of their overextensions and where they're going so far. Because even though Snapchat C said has some moments where they get caught out pretty badly, that Septopus is not as keen to punish the situations. They just have a 3 down right now, and Septopus could secure a lead at this point. They just now need to send people up so far.
This
as
is
Honey
true.
Lemon will go down in the back.
And they do secure the lead for now, so let's see if they can keep it going. They are still pushing the tower. Chai is stuck in mid, though, right now, fighting Mr. Dink. They're surviving, though. Mr. Dink rotates back toward the tower. The bomb almost gets them. They do win the skirmish against Chai Tea, though, in mid. And now they're rotating back up. Anna is actually taking up mid. Trying to keep this push going. Oh, that's too.
I think Honey Lemon's the only one alive up on the spinner right now, as Septopus is having a much stronger push in this situation, and unfortunately a brush is being isolated off in the back left. Mr. Dink taking a skirmish on the tower, strikes it, and Zuka coming out here. There's only one person left alive up on that and C-Shed, and they are just going to be holding on for dear life, as Anna has complete control of this tower. They're going to have to make a beeline for it if they're going to be able to secure a point.
And
all
they
Anna
break
needs
it.
to do is just stand on it and survive.
Yep, and they broke it. They did, in fact, survive and broke it. Honey Lemon is trying to get the push back, and that's it. That's game.
Yeah, look at that. They had those GG strikes ready to go to force all players off the tower that last second right there. Those are going to be so strong up in the last seconds of the fight.
They don't call them GG strikes for nothing.
That's for sure right there.
Right.
I gotta say, that was a great set coming out between Dr. C-Set and Septopus. And the very, very strong plays coming out from both teams, from what I can see, but definitely strong punishes coming out from both as well, with Dr. C-Shed having, I think, having the slight edge in punishing Septopus's overextensions and situations, and being able to secure the advantage much faster.
That's correct. I think as far as like the games go, all the games were pretty close. I think the only one that was kind of more of a little bit of a bombshell was for Lucky Septopus on Inkwa Art Academy zones, because they did actually have more control there. It was a bit harder for That's What C said to push in there, so they kind of just turned the tables really hard on that map for them.
Yeah, and I gotta attribute that to USS Anna playing on the Splatlings right there. There was so many different choke points that the brushes could not just force their way in, and all the specials they had aren't the greatest for it. If they try to push in with an Ultra Stat, the Splatling's just gonna fire straight through it. And if they try to push in with the whale, all the Splatling needs to do is just walk slightly to the left and keep shooting.
That's correct. That's correct. Alrighty. Though that was some very well played games. That's What C said does take the set here, going 3-2 against Lucky Septopus. But these scores, again, playing all 5, every score does count. So never count your chickens until they hatch, because this will help determine the matches for next week, for week 3.
And that's for sure. We're definitely just seeing all these teams slowly build up the amount of points they have for each one of these games, and every win counts for these. Every win definitely counts in terms of what you're trying to build up. With your placements for what you're going to be going for in these tournaments, it's definitely going to be very... You definitely want to build up as much of an advantage as you can going to the next tournament to see what you can get. So we're just going to have to see how both players do for the next few days. That's for sure.
That's for sure. And I'm excited to see what's coming on, because we do still have one more set of games after this, though. So I'm excited to see what happens next. But we will be taking a bit of a short break. It will start in 10 minutes. So I'm going to end the stream shortly. And we're going to take a quick little break so I can go ahead and get these team names and turn on my color lock. And then we'll be right back at the top of the hour for the next set of games for tonight. Thank you, tourists. I big appreciate you for commentating with me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I gotta appreciate that, Laura. That's for sure. And I will unfortunately need to peel off right here as I'm currently going into a class at the moment. But I really appreciate taking the time to commentate here with Laura for the sets. I was thinking, should we do the Friday tournaments for the Friday games as well if you got the time?
Let's see, Friday. I could probably do one of them because there's 2 games going at the exact same time. So we will see. We will talk about that later, though, in DMs. But I'm going to let you go because you do have to go to that class. So thank you so much, friend, and we'll see you next time, okay?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. We'll see you guys soon with more DOS tournaments shortly, okay? Have a good one, folks. We'll see you in 10 minutes. I certainly won't, but Mara will. And we'll catch you guys later, all right?
All right. Bye, tourists. All right, everyone.
See you then. Bye.
All right, everyone. You heard the man. We're going to hop on out of this stream. We're going to end it up. But we'll see you guys at the top of the hour for the next game. Don't go anywhere. Grab you some popcorns. Take a bathroom break. Get you some hydration. And we'll see you soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.